welcome to today's edition of The Buzz on Galaxy Television. It's a show that brings you closer to social media. As it breaks, we'll bring it to you hot and sizzling here on the program. It's Friday, the 27th of April, 2018. My name is Patience Bello Kafo, and it looks like it's going to be a bubbling Friday here on the show. Good afternoon, Alera.
Good afternoon, Patience.
Yes,
thank God it's Friday.
Yes, thank God it's Friday.
Let my hair down.
I was just, you took it right out of my mouth. I was going to say you already let your hair down. Yeah, I put mine up though, you know.
You actually doing, was you on Tuesday or Wednesday that you were busy doing? So it's now time for me to do the Gaga shuffle.
Yes, yes.
Yippee.
Yes. It's great to be on the show again.
You know, talking about what's trending, and it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Thank God it's time to just get to like be in a good mood. And I'm pretty excited about today's edition. I am excited because we're impatient.
Why?
We want to have a balance. It's always good to have balanced diet now.
Yes.
So when we had one part, we now have another part again.
Yes.
You won't understand.
Is this dessert or this is the main course? I don't know.
Seriously?
Yeah, as long as it's balanced, Sha.
So far it's balanced.
Okay.
Anyhow.
All right, welcome on board the show this afternoon. Remember, the show is interactive. You can join us on all of our social media portals.
Yes, using the hashtag The Buzz on Facebook, www.facebook.com/GalaxyTV, and also on Twitter, the official Galaxy TV, knowing that you could get to watch previous editions of the program via our YouTube channel, Galaxy TV.
And of course, you can send your SMS to the number 0708740758, SMS only. All right, let's go straight into the program for this afternoon. We're kickstarting by way of social media news. And of course, the news is hot this afternoon. Our first story says, U.S. Church holds Beyonce Mass. U.S. Church holds Beyonce Mass. A San Francisco church, Grace Cathedral, held a mass dedicated to honoring pop star Beyonce on Wednesday. The service, whose opening hymn was Survival by Destiny Child, Beyonce's former band, also included more songs by the musician, along with Bible readings, prayers, and communion. Black feminist theologian Reverend Yolanda Norton, who preached at the Mass, revealed the idea behind the Mass. This is a service that uses Beyonce's music as a tool to engender positive, empowering conversation about Black women. Grace Cathedral on its church's website adds that the service was intended to show how Beyonce's art opens a window into the lives of the marginalized and forgotten, particularly Black women. Imagine a church service, you know, in honor of of a pop star. I mean, that's a first.
And well, the main thing there is just the last phrase there, particularly Black women. So it definitely has an undertone to celebrating our works and what she's been doing for the race.
That's true.
And next is on a good note. Yes, Meek Mill has been released from prison.
Yippee!
Yippee! I was pretty excited. I saw the video and I was like, oh my God, he had the beards and it was like, he needed to just go take it off there.
They don't shave in prison.
They don't. As when he came out, that was like the first thing.
They shave in Nigerian prison, so. Yes, I've been to like a couple, like you have part of the inmates who earn some cash, like under the tree, they use razor to. I'm serious, yeah. So, anyways, let's move on.
Okay. All right. According to rapper Meek Mill has been released from prison. According to reports, the Pennsylvania Supreme Court granted the rapper bail after being incarcerated since November 2017 for violating his probation. His 2 to 4 year sentence for probation violation stemming from a 2007 drug and weapon charges handed down by controversial judge Dennis Brinkley was overturned by the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania following series of appeals for his legal team. In a statement to Billboard, Meek said, "While the past 5 months have been a nightmare, the prayers, visits, calls, letters, and rallies have helped me stay positive. Although I'm blessed to have the resources to fight this unjust situation, I understand that many people of color across the country don't have the luxury and I plan to use my platform to shine a light on those issues. In the meantime, I plan to work closely with my legal team to overturn this unwarranted conviction and look forward to reuniting with my family and resuming my music career. I was really excited while I was reading this because I could remember when he was given that slam. A lot of artists, the likes of Jay-Z, P. Diddy, all of them actually came out in support because they all felt that this was just so unjust for it.
Nobody's above the law.
No, but there were some other things. If you could remember the scenario, if you could remember the scenario around that, a lot had to do with the judge having something to do. Like
they had issues.
Yes.
Yeah, they had issues. But then the good thing is he's out now, and I sense there's a bit of humility somewhere.
There's always humility
in the speech where you go to prison and come back.
There is, because I can remember Leo came to. She also was so humble after when she came out.
When she came back. Yeah. All right, let's move it along quickly because of time. Facebook deletes 1.9 million terror-related posts in 3 months. Social network giant Facebook found and removed 1.9 million social media posts by the Islamic State and Al-Qaeda terrorists during the first 3 months of 2018 using new anti-terror algorithms. Detection technology has been critical to progress detecting terrorist posts, with the Facebook counter-terrorism team growing from 150 last June to 200 at present, with plans to continue expanding the team. In the first quarter of 2018, 99% of the ISIS and Al-Qaeda content we took action on was not user-reported. We found this material due to advances in our technology, but this also includes detection by our internal reviewers, so says Mark Zuckerberg. The median time for newly uploaded terrorist content to be flagged was less than 1 minute. However, because content receives less attention the longer it remains online, the Facebook team also went back and reviewed older posts, accounting for 600,000 removals in the January to March quarter. Interesting.
That's actually a good one.
Okay.
All right, now moving on. Nollywood actress Opeyemi Ayola welcomes third child. Yeah. Nollywood actress Opeyemi Ayola last night welcomed a new addition to her family.
Actually, 2 nights ago.
2 nights ago, okay.
Yeah.
The actress via Instagram handle broke the news of a newborn baby. She wrote, "Hooray, my champ is finally here. Give us the pinky anointing, oh Lord. Welcome to my world, my prince, my champ, my love." Okpe in 2017 promised to return to active acting this year after going off for many years based on marital obligations.
Looks like the obligations are still very present because it doesn't look like she's returning anytime.
I know the way it is right now. We have too many actors on ground. So even the older ones that are probably good for you to come back.
She's not returning this year. Plus, this makes it the 3rd boy. She's had 2 boys previously, and I have boys, so I know. Congratulations. More power to you. All right, lastly, on social media news, family of late pop icon Prince sues hospital for improper diagnosis. The family of late pop icon Prince has filed a lawsuit against the hospital that treated him and the pharmacy where the killer pain drug was bought. The suit came after prosecutors in Prince's native Minnesota said last week that they could not determine who provided the Purple Rain star with counterfeit painkillers that proved fatal and did not detect any intention to kill him. With this, Prince's siblings filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the Trinity Medical Center in Moline, Illinois, where the singer was treated when his plane made an emergency stop on his way back from a concert in Atlanta before he died in April 2016. What happened to Prince is happening to families across America, and the family wishes through this investigation to shed light on this epidemic and how to better the fight to save lives. For me, my opinion is this guy was on drugs.
I have so many.
Opioids. You understand what that means? So I think this was expected somewhere along the line. So suing the hospital, suing the anyways, You know, the way white people do their things is different from how black people do. You purchase drugs from a pharmacy, you take it and it kills you. Who are you gonna sue in Nigeria? But of course.
But that's actually a mentality that needs to be changed.
It's their mentality over there. So let's wait and see what comes out of this. Anyways, that's it on social media. We do have guests with us on the program this afternoon, and I do say that I'm honored and privileged to have him on the program. I think this is your first time on this particular table, on this parliament. Yes. It's a pleasure to have Chairman Copyright Society of Nigeria, Chief Tony Okoroji, with us on the show. Good afternoon.
Thank God it's Friday.
Really?
Thank God.
I didn't know that to say.
And thank God to be sitting here with these two beautiful ladies, Pat and Alero, and I have my guy, Shile, you know, with me. How are you, everybody?
Yeah.
I hope you have
what do you usually do on Fridays?
Fridays.
Yeah.
Everybody knows I'm a workaholic. I work Monday to Saturday to Sunday, and if there's any day in between, I work.
All right. Okay. Also, on the other end of the table there, we have Shile Shotuminu. Yeah, he's a journalist and an artist manager. He's actually group manager for Royal Green Cash Entertainment. Yo, what's up? Isn't that how you guys? Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
All right. A lot of people don't know that yesterday, the 26th of April, was actually the World Intellectual Property Day. Is observed annually on the 26th of April. And according to WIPO, which is the WIPO is World
Intellectual
Property Organization, the number of women taking up leadership and senior roles in science, technology, business, and the art has increased.
Yes.
But that kind of improvement is not reflected when it comes to intellectual property, which informs the theme for this year's observance, which is Powering Change, Women in Innovation and Creativity. We're going to take a quick music break. When we come back, we'll be looking at how we can improve women inclusion when we talk about intellectual property, creativity, and innovation. We'll be right back.
You missing, you tripping. You need this, I know you need this. Stuck at your place with them hips and you just bored and we need additions. Bring your friends, only the women. We got enough niggas. You don't need drugs to be in the groove. You don't need love to be in the mood. You don't need drugs to be in the. You don't need love to be in the. You don't need it. What you wanna say to me? What you wanna do to me? Girl, we got the whole night. Yeah. Girl, we got the whole night. What you wanna give to me? What you wanna bring to me? Girl, we got the whole night. Girl, we got the whole night. What you wanna say to me? What you wanna do to me? Girl, we got the whole night. Yeah. Girl, we got the whole night. What you wanna give to me? What you wanna bring to me? Girl, we got the whole night. Girl, we got the whole night. Believe this. Believe this. Believe this. I mean it. Look around you. Can you feel it? Cause I be touching you in places that I know are your weak points. You can't resist this. Just be one with it. And it's unspeakable the way I get down on this body, girl. It be like ra-ta-ta-ta-ta. You got a nigga in motion. You got waves of emotion. You said things ain't happening your way. Oh no, don't leave, no, you can stay.
It's fine, I can
Ladies and gentlemen, I go by the name Messiah. I And I wanna introduce to you a new dance. They call it Songiro dance. Hold your clothes tight and bend out like say you want shit. Give us a day. So,
New age, bruh. Yeah. I'm 40, yeah. It ain't easy. I paid my dues. I deserve some accolade, nigga. My nigga. I paid my dues. I paid it, my nigga. Accolade, my nigga. Come on. Whoa, wow, whoa, wow. Whoa, wow, whoa, wow. Brother Chris.
Lazy Nigeria youth. Lazy Nigeria youth. Ha. You are on the top one. Lazy Nigeria youth.
Oh, this is madness.
Nigeria youth, lazy. Ha.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir.
What is it now?
Can you marry a poor girl?
Pardon?
I said, can you marry?
That's why you stopped me on the road. That's why I've been taking this money. You don't know what's going on. You have told me whether I can marry poor girl. Can you marry? Do you want to marry me?
No, sir.
Sorry, I don't have job. Does he used to marry? You don't know that I have girlfriend. I have anything. I said, can I marry? Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Person that is marrying Linda Ikeji. I've been going to daughter. Does he have two head? No, does he have two head? You now want to marry poor girl as a partner. I should now have to the interview that I'm supposed to be doing to do today now. Tell anybody I missed the interview because they lock all the road in Lagos. They close all the road in Lagos. They say president is coming. They say president is coming. They close all the road in Lagos because he wants to come and launch bus stop. He wants to come and launch bus stop. They close all the road. All of us are now walking around Lagos like Johnny Walker. They're asking me if they want to launch airport now. They will close the road to heaven now. We don't know. They will close the road to heaven.
All right, welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're watching The Buzz on Galaxy Television. Okay, we still have Chief Tony Okoroji here with us, Chairman COSON, and also we have Shile Shotiminu. Oh, wow. He's an artist manager, amongst other things. All right, let's start our discussion by looking at the World Intellectual Property Day, which was yesterday. Now, the United Nations agency behind the whole observance is calling for greater participation of women in the field of innovation and creativity. So, first off, let me ask, why is the ratio, of women in terms of innovation, creativity, where intellectual property is concerned, why is it on the low?
I guess the ratio of women, in all forms of participation, whether it's political, whether it's innovation, has been low. But women form at least 50% of humanity, and our attitude must change if we want to engage everyone, into making society better for everyone. And intellectual property, I have said for many, many years, is a place where all of us, especially from this part of the world, must give attention. Let me repeat what I've said, that when it comes to going to Mars or going to the moon or we're not as good as anyone else. But when it comes to making great music, making great movies, creating great content, writing great literature, we in this part of the world are as good as any set of people anywhere. We have comparative advantage. We can compete. So that this is one area where we must pay attention. Building our economy just around oil, as we have seen recently, is simply not the way to go. And we must lead. We should not just talk about this. I issued a statement yesterday on World Intellectual Property Day saying that I'm asking for a new Nigeria built on knowledge and creativity. That's the way for us to go, not built on oil and all the quarreling going on in Abuja. And the role of women in this area must be, we have great actresses. We have great singers that are women. We have great writers. Amanda is a Nigerian. She's rated as one of the best in the world.
Yes.
You know, we have great singers and all that. And in the management of intellectual property, we must show, take COSON for instance. Recently, we expanded the number of women on our board from one that it used to be. We have 3 women on our board presently. Of the heads of departments at COSON, there's 6 heads of department at COSON. 3 of them are women right now. You know Benny Sereme, who is in charge of our finance and administration. You probably know Simi Washpam.
In the legal team.
In the legal team.
Okay.
You probably know Anne Okomi, who is in charge of our licensing. These are very important positions in our management team, and are run by women and run extremely well by women. So I like to encourage people in other areas, you know, don't be scared of women competing with you. Look at Germany, ruled by a woman, and look at the United Kingdom now, led by a woman, and they're not doing that poorly. So please, if you're watching, I encourage you, get the women, you know, to get engaged, and our nation will be a much better place.
Okay, all right, Chief. Now let's talk about intellectual property down to the grassroots, because you and I are able to understand what intellectual property is.
Yes.
And we have so many people in the grassroots that probably don't understand what it is to actually have a right to what they write, or probably things that they own.
Yes.
How do you guys at COSON, or probably any other copyright body, will be able to get to the grassroots?
Look, when we talk about intellectual property, sometimes it sounds very, very crazy, very big. Look at what I'm wearing, right? Somebody designed this. In Nigeria, what do people do normally? They take their phone camera and take this photo and go and sew their own.
Recreate, yes.
No, they don't recreate. They go and they manufacture. But they don't understand that someone has created this. And that person has a right to this. That he shouldn't go and reproduce his work without authorization or permission. If you hear about the great designers of this world, how do they make their money? They don't go and manufacture the clothes. They sew them. They design them. In Nigeria, an architect has created a big, beautiful house. What do people do? They take their camera, go and do this, and then go and call a builder to go and start building the house. They think, this your house is fine, I want to reproduce it. You don't have a right to reproduce it. Somebody has created this, right? You know, it's the same thing as music. Somebody has written a song. You don't have a right to take the song and go and multiply this, you know. We talk about Mark Zuckerberg. You know, he created Facebook. Facebook is what? It's a program, right? Why is he one of the richest men in the world? Because he is in a society where you can't go and reproduce Facebook without his permission, right?
Exactly.
We have people who are in invention. We have people who are in content and programming. That's where the world is. If we don't understand that the world is no longer in brick and mortar, the world is no longer in oil, the world is in creativity. And some of us keep telling Nigerians our attitude must change. You know, look at what we've built at COSON, for instance. What did we build it on? You know, I'm sure some of you have been to COSON House, the magnificent COSON House. There's no government money in COSON House, not one penny. There's no money borrowed from anybody, any bank, right? It's a product of intellectual property. That it is possible. I had to go to court with how many broadcast stations in Nigeria to establish that under our laws, you can't broadcast music without authorization and permission of the person who owns the music. Okay. It looked like a strange concept.
Yeah, at that time.
At that time, but it's a concept that is beginning to show.
That's true. All right, let's bring Shile into this conversation. You, as an artist manager, you've represented a lot of big names, you know, in the music industry. In your course of work, how knowledgeable, really, would you say Nigerian artists are in terms of knowing to the extent to which, you know, they have power over their works?
Thank you, Pat. When Chief was giving a speech earlier on, he spoke about the society we live in. I would like to take it from there. You see, the society we have right now, we are still getting there. You know, everybody knows that, you know, we are still on our way to having that big aspect of everybody believing in intellectual properties and all that. Everybody just want to put out the song out there. Just want to believe, okay, let my song, let my creativity, let it go well, let it go. Everybody just want that fame, that popularity, and everything.
That's a great achievement if it becomes an RBT.
That's the number one. That's the number one thing in the mind of every creative mind there.
Yes.
But forgetting about the fact that along the line you need to protect what is yours. What is yours is yours. So definitely this is what we need at this particular point in time.
True.
I mean, it goes a long way. It's like a big circle with so many other segments in it.
Sorry to butt in. I mean, a vivid example of what you just said is what we experience with Blackface and Two-Face over who owns a particular song. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you know, there are times that some artists don't probably look at it that instant. They look at what they're to get. Like maybe I need to upload my songs on the internet, and the amount of downloads I get, even if it's going to be for free. For example, this Mr. Real guy, the Legbegbe guy, the guy would have put in a lot when he actually uploaded the song. And now he's getting endorsements. So it might be good for some and it might be negative for others.
I'm happy you talked about that. Let's talk about technology. We are in the age of technology. How is technology helping in this, in helping push forward the issue of copyright and intellectual property? Seeing that, you know, people can share a particular material in real time, like in seconds.
We should actually thank God for technology. It was actually technology that brought about this issue of intellectual properties and all that. Technology exposed us to that fact that, okay, fine, we can actually do this. This is what we should be doing. We shouldn't be doing this is wrong. Let's pursue this. I mean, you cannot pretend your music. At times you see artists use lyrics, use songs from people, as in songs that have been sung way back without permission, without proper accountability for the song and everything. You can't just do that.
Exactly.
I mean, and right now the Nigerian music industry, the Nigerian creativity industry, let me put it that way, is going far beyond our imagination. It's crossing boundaries.
I know there are times, I'm talking about technology, what Patience said. A lot of people wouldn't want to buy songs on iTunes because you make money when you put your songs on iTunes. But you have your songs or probably your album on iTunes. And you can as well also get to download those songs again
on YouTube
for free. Like
it don't make sense to me though, you know, but maybe because I'm not so techie.
No, I mean technology is a good thing. What has technology done is that it gives people platforms to be able to popularize what they do.
Okay.
If you have a smartphone, you can put your song on YouTube and put it everywhere and everybody has access. But it's also exposed you to your intellectual property being consumed by people. And it wouldn't matter at a time when nobody wants you or nobody needs you. But once that material becomes popular, you begin to worry.
Yes,
you know, because that's where your income, you are involved in an industry. You don't do music just for the heck of it. You do it to be able to pay your rent, to buy food, to train your children and all that. It's a job. And for you to make good music costs money and time and energy. You know, so you need to create a balance in this area. And some of the work we are doing right now is to let people understand there's a balance that needs to be created. It's not enough to say, look, I'm putting my music out there for everybody to use as they please. Guy, how are you going to pay your rent? You know, when push comes to shove, how are you going to take care of yourself? You know, all that hot car you want to ride, how is it going to come if you're not making any money from this? And that's what leads to frustration. I know artists who have become very popular, right? You can't see them on the streets because they can't pay their fare on the street. They won't ride buses because, of course, there's a consequence.
The songs are, big.
The songs are big, but the guys,
they're poor.
The guys, they have no money whatsoever.
Patapa, the one corner artist. Yes, the song is worldwide, but he's broke.
No. Yeah. And they are frustrated, and that's what would lead some people to drugs and to all kinds of
other things.
Very true.
But in my own opinion, I think technology-wise, technology has even made it so easy for you to protect your creative content.
How?
I mean, for instance, I think it should be Kendrick Lamar or whatever. It makes, I mean, thousands of dollars or millions of dollars without selling an hard copy.
True.
Online.
He just won a Pulitzer Prize.
There are some artists you can't put on their content online. It will go down instantly. It is that protected.
That's true.
So you can protect, be it movie, be it your writing, be it whatever. You can actually put it online, protect it in a way that your money becomes in whatever penny it is that is being consumed.
Comes directly
to you.
My guy, that sounds really, really nice.
Yes.
Just go on the internet right now. You see so many sites on which Nigerian music is for free.
No, you will actually pay. You will actually pay to put your songs on that free site.
That's it.
You will actually pay. It's not as if
the free site.
Yes, it's not as if the free site are even eager to put your music or your content there.
It's just the same thing with the Alaba way back then.
But they fizzled out though.
Alaba is still
trending. Alaba is still there.
Well,
in some areas, right? In some parts of the world, you've mentioned. This is culture. It's their culture.
Yeah.
They expect to pay for intellectual property. You know, if you go to much of Europe, the United States, they expect. You know, so people ordinarily won't go to free sites. You know, but here everybody expects music to be free, movies to be free, everything to be free.
Because you know that they get their money from endorsement, because that's even what a lot of artists look at. It's not even the little.
But okay, let's consider the artists that got into
how many people get endorsements? You know, I was watching your program, you know, over the week, you know, and I think there was some lesson that you played, you know, and the day I came to COSON House, and we had our EGM. And some of my colleagues on the program were saying, but who is this person? Who is that person? Have you seen this person on Galaxy? And I said there are thousands of musicians in Nigeria.
I was just about saying that.
Some of them are traditional musicians, some are Fuji musicians, some of them are gospel musicians. There's so many you never see on Galaxy.
True.
But there are musicians. As chairman of COSON, I represent these thousands of musicians. So when you talk about endorsement, you're talking about endorsement with respect to the few people. They don't represent the music industry in Nigeria, this handful of people. Yes. If that's what is going to take care of musicians in Nigeria, there is a lot of problem. We must make sure that whoever, whether the guy is in the village, is in Kano, or in Akwa Ibom,
his works are protected.
or in Edo State or whatever, he has a small community that he serves. Some of them don't even get played on radio, yet they earn income, you know, to protect themselves. So if you look at in terms of endorsement or the people you see on MTV or blah blah blah, that's no industry.
Chief, let's be practical, because a lot of artists, when you get to see them this day, is not the little money that's in Nigeria that comes from royalties and stuff that they're looking at. They are looking at the bigger picture of how they're going to be at a mega show to perform.
That boils down to the society we live in, the society we have.
The fact that
to be able to find
do we want to continue like that?
Alero, the point,
we have a million artists, we have a million.
Okay, one at a time.
No, the point I make is, if you go to a big show, probably at a hotel, right? 5 shows in a month, you are likely to see the same
crop of artists
of people, right?
I get that.
That same set of people, you know, do not represent the industry. If you look at, you know, and those are the people you are likely to meet often, and then you get the impression that is the music industry. That's not the music industry. The music industry involves thousands of people who need to earn income for their survival. Yes, somebody will be that the big superstar that the telcos will use to promote these things. They exist. But there are thousands, and I meet them. I go around the country and I engage with these people. And people earn their incomes that people, if you go to Edo State, for instance, there are people who simply earn their money by doing funeral services. No, true.
Why did you use Edo State as an example?
I think they call it obito.
Oh, really?
So what is their income source? Obitos. There are people who earn their income from weddings. There are people who earn their income from all kinds of naming ceremonies. They don't do the big concerts.
True.
You know, but there are people, there are artists, they're working and they're earning income and they're sustaining their families.
And you know they're quite popular in that. Yes, very popular.
If you take a bus.
Sorry to butt in. I schooled in Edo State. You know, like we come from Lagos to Edo, like it's a whole new experience. And then you have those guys that are like quite popular artists and all of that. They're very popular. At a time, I could sing all their songs. But then you come to Lagos, nobody knows them. Like, this guy is big. They're like, big where? Yeah, so I get what you're saying. All right, let's move it along quickly because of time. Since we brought in the issue of COSON, I mean, it won't be right if we don't react to certain issues that were raised on this show. First of all, you were supposed to be on that program, but I understand you had other engagements, so that's fine. But here we are now. For the purposes of balance, several issues were raised because if we're protecting copyrights, intellectual property of artists, then let's protect the body that protects the artist too, yes? One of them is the issue of auditing of accounts of COSON. You know, those are part of the allegations brought against you. What exactly is going on in that regard?
No, first of all, let me say that I watched the program you talked about.
Okay.
You know, the people on the program are my colleagues, right? In my position, I'm like a father. So I'm not going to react the way they spoke. You know, if you listen to the way they spoke, it's almost like the whole house is falling down. No house is falling down. And, you know, COSON is like 5 minutes from here. You can walk into COSON right now. The place is calm. The people are working. The place is 100% operational. We don't have a fight. You know, and COSON was built by people in the industry. It's an example of what we can do without government. You know, when I hear people say, government, come in. Who is government? Government is made up of people with their biases. You know, they're individual. Government isn't some institution from Mars. It's a government coming. You know, government coming is some other person with his bias to come in. You know, we are working through, you know, and my job is to bring everybody together ultimately. You know, as a leader, sometimes you swallow your pride, even when people insult you and call you all kinds of names. Yes, if you attack my dignity and my personality, sometimes I go to court. The difference between what you say on Facebook and what you say on a TV station like this is that in a court of law, you have to bring evidence. You have to call evidence. You have to call people to testify. The judge will look at it this way and that way before he says you are making sense. And if you are dissatisfied, you can go on appeal. I say that, no, I don't agree.
Okay.
Right? On the issue you have just mentioned, on this program, somebody was saying, Tony Okoroji doesn't want audit. And to give the impression that, oh, there is something that this gentleman must be hiding. And I said that there is no institution in Nigeria that has been better audited than Copyright Society of Nigeria, COSON, you know, by independent auditors. And I have COSON audit reports here, please, you know, just, you know, because this matter, I see it every day.
It's a whole lot.
No.
We have to give it its own chair. It's a whole lot.
No, this is a COSON audit report, annual report. Of COSON. Sorry, Alero, because this has become an issue. Don't stop me, Alero. This is the COSON 2010 audit report.
Okay.
This is 2011. You have them 2000, and you can read them. I can leave them for you. 2013, 2014, 2015. We even have the last audit, which has gone to the members. This is COSON 2017 audit. I didn't do the audit. Okay. They were done by external auditors. And one very important point, I don't appoint auditors. As chairman, I cannot say, come and audit.
Who can call for an audit? The way they're calling for members.
Of COSON at annual general meeting. Or else anybody can say, I want audit. Audits cost money, they take time, they take energy. COSON is one of the most transparent organizations you can find anywhere. And I am proud, very, very proud of it, you know. And you
Chief,
know,
can I talk now?
Yeah, please talk, Alero. Talk.
In a nutshell, because we had Pretty Okafor, we had Ife Moribe, we had Keslo, that was on Tuesday on the program. And for a lot of people that are listening, I probably watched the program on Tuesday, what is now the issue? From your own point.
No, the issue is very, very simple. We had an organization that nobody gave a chance.
Okay.
Now, COSON has become major.
Okay.
It's a big organization. When we commissioned the COSON house last year, I knew that we were setting ourselves for trouble because now there's a huge edifice. After we commissioned COSON house, we declared royalties of about 200 and something million for our members. And the point is that this money goes to musicians across Nigeria. There are people who have a different approach. They think that the money should be theirs. And so we are set up for everybody. And my job is to make sure that everybody gets, you know. There are people, I hear people saying government should step in. Government didn't build COSON. Government doesn't have 1 naira in COSON. We built COSON on our own by working very, very hard to do that which a lot of people said it was impossible in Nigeria. Don't forget I used to be president of PMAN. PMAN was not a known organization. When PMAN became big, everybody wanted to be president of PMAN at the same time. You know, I walked away. At some point, they had 4 presidents of PMAN. But I have the support of the musicians of Nigeria. And they've said to me, don't let what happened to PMAN happen to COSON. And I want to assure Nigerians, wherever they're watching, that what happened to PMAN will not happen to COSON. We are determined to make sure that COSON continues to run, and COSON is running. It's a legacy for those even unborn.
Can I quickly chip something in?
Yes.
Because of time, we have to rush a bit. Where does NCC come into all this? Because NCC has been like a very recurrent decima in the whole... I don't want to use strong words, you know, all the whole things going on, you know. How does NCC come in?
Some people forget that I am one of the authors of the Nigerian copyright law. I was in the committee that drafted the Nigerian copyright law. I was a member of the board of the NCC twice. I understand the NCC and the law. You know, people are asking NCC to get involved in things that do not concern the NCC. Galaxy is a broadcast station. First of all, you are set up as a company under the Company and Allied Matters Act.
Yes.
And then you get a license, you know, to broadcast content, right? The NBC has authority to check your content. The NBC can't decide who is the chairman of Galaxy Television or how Galaxy deals with its workers and all that. COSON is a company limited by guarantee, registered on the Company and Allied Matters Act. The issues of the internal affairs of COSON are not issues of the NCC. When it comes to collection and distribution of royalties, yes, we have reports from the NCC. NCC can determine who is the chairman of COSON or who is the director of COSON. Yes, if we do not spend the money we collect with respect to royalties, the NCC can. But the NCC must go through the law. You know, some people want NCC to install them as chairman of COSON. It's the members of COSON that determine their chairman through democracy. There is no other way.
All right, Chief, would you actually want to give the younger generation a chance to actually rule?
Oh yes. You know,
because that's another view of what it's looking like, because now I'm not talking as a presenter. Let me put myself as a viewer at home. Okay, would you want to give this set of young, vibrant men the chance to actually rule COSON?
Okay, I'll tell you something. I became president of PMAN at 29 years old. 29.
You were 29 then?
Yeah.
I knew you then. You didn't look 29. Yeah, I knew you then.
Are you a vampire?
You didn't know a vampire, but like, I knew you then. You didn't look 29 to me.
I have asked a lot of young people to come into COSON. I support that. I support youth, you know. But please educate yourself. The issues involved in copyright and intellectual property are very technical issues. You got to know them. I've written several books on copyright. My books are used around the world for teaching the subject. Judges use my books to interpret the law. I can take on anybody on the issues, which is how we have built the structures we have built. At COSON, people are trained all the time. Don't come in from the street and say, I want to be chairman of COSON. You will wreck the place within a few months. I encourage you, I'm not going to be chairman forever, but the most important thing is not, I don't decide who is chairman, it's the members. You have to allow the members. The members have to trust you that you can do their work because they have been disappointed so many, many times. The way P-Man was wrecked, the members can't forget it. Okay. When what happened in COSON recently happened, they said, we don't want this to happen to us again because there are people who are earning their little income from this institution. It's not just an institution, it's an institution on which people feed. It keeps them, right? So please, if you want to, by the way, we have a COSON annual general meeting on the 10th of May. It's Lagos Sheraton here, it's very easy. There'll be elections. And every COSON member is allowed to come and contest. Don't sit in your house and complain and say, they didn't allow me. Did you contest? Did you make an, if you don't contest, I hear some people who tell you, I've not collected any royalty from COSON. You ask them, did you register to collect? And you didn't register, and you want COSON to carry money and come to your house?
Speaking of which, let me ask Shile here. Shile, you represent a lot of artists too. But quickly, because our time is almost up, quickly, how do you react to this whole issue going on? And second of all, do you encourage your artists really to get registered?
I think I'll start from the second question. Actually, I encourage all artists to register with COSON. The first time I picked interest in COSON was about some years back when I can't really remember, some certain amount of millions was declared. I was at the office, the first office, not the new office now. I think Two-Face received the largest amount then. That should be about some 4 years ago. But
who else should have received?
So it was very big. I saw millions flying in the air.
You see Ebenezer Obey's check. I died.
I saw millions flying in the air, and I was like, oh God, And I went online. I did a proper research on COSON, and I saw it wasn't. It's just for you to register and just put your music out there and everything. And that's it, It's not like it's just limited to the big wings or the big names we hear there and everything. It's open to all artists and all musicians. And I really must commend the leadership of Chief. It's been so wonderful, Personally, I've picked interest on COSON and I've done my own research and everything. So I know COSON represents the interest of artists out there. So left to me, I'm fully in support of COSON.
So I know your artists have been collecting checks.
Bottom
line.
Let me say that I'm meeting this guy for the first time
here,
at Galaxy TV. I don't know him. I didn't bring him here. I didn't bring him to endorse. But the work we are doing is enormous. And it's easier to scatter than to build. I want to appeal to everybody involved in this process. We have a duty to leave this for the people coming after us. Don't get involved in all this noise. When you go to Facebook and what you say, COSON don't scatter everything. COSON is not scattering. COSON is getting stronger and stronger and stronger by the day. And I want to commend the members of COSON across the country for refusing anybody to scatter them. I want to commend the board and the management. Our management is strong. We are united. We are 100% together, and we will not scatter. Nobody should worry about that. Whatever issues we have with some of our members, we'll deal with them. That's my duty.
Okay, that's nice to know. That's nice because we really see a situation. We would love to see a situation where everybody can actually come together, and we have a working music industry. That is what we need at this time. All right, Shile. So tell us about Royal Green Cash Entertainment. What do I have to do to be on that?
You have a nice voice already, so just walk into
a nice talking voice.
Just walk into our studio and let's see what we can do with you.
Okay. All right. To see what you can do with me. That's just.
I know her husband.
Husband always surfaces in everything.
Her husband is a very possessive person, and I don't blame him. So please,
Oh my word. All right, shout out to Prince Joe. Apologies, we're supposed to have him on the show. We'll promise you the whole show next Friday. I promise you. Because these are quite salient issues, and they are not things you can just rush or gloss over like that. Meanwhile, many thanks to you, Shile. I'm meeting you the first time, and I love you already. Thank you. I love you for your
his beautiful smile.
smile. No, I like people, because people judge people based on looks. When I saw him, I'm like, okay, this is who's coming to talk intellect. But I'm pleasantly surprised, and I like people who, other than looks, prove that they know something. Thank you so much for coming on the show today. Thank you, sir, for coming on the show.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
And women artists there, more inclusion, in the whole intellectual.
Talking about the female artists, they really need to do much more better right now.
Hey, female artists.
Female artists.
Please, if Cassie, the June 12th girl, is watching,
let's take over. Let's take over.
Yes,
like, don't worry, I'll be your backup singer.
Okay. All right, Alero. It's been a great week with you. Thank you for being there. And thank you, people. We'll sign out with Omolomo by Prince Joe. Have yourself a beautiful weekend. See you next time.